Welcome to Outside the Ring. I am here with my guest, your strong style swordsman, OV8.
OV8. What's good, guys? How y'all doing? I'm hoping everybody feeling well and doing well in life.
That's all I can do. Just try to do your best.
Hey, man, like I said, this life you could do so many great things. So many. You just got to take that chance on yourself. You really do.
Absolutely. How'd you come up with the ring name OV8?
That's a good one. So, growing up in my neighborhood in Detroit, the rough parts, of course, it used to be an expression that me and my friends had growing up. So, for example, if there's something that we all didn't want to do, it was another way of saying, yeah, it's over. I'm not doing that. It's OV8. So we would shorten it as an abbreviation. And with that also being in a wrestling term, it felt right. It felt
Hmm.
sentimental. It was coming to childhood. So I turned that into a name, and OV8 stuck, and people love it. I love it my damn self.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How'd
But it's
the strong style swordsman part come into it?
You know what? I needed something to bring the gimmick together. And even though strong style, the actual style is an actual wrestling style
Hmm.
that I am working on, it just brought it together. I was working on so many things to bring an alias because everybody has something, you know?
Hmm.
You got the ultimate opportunist, you got the cerebral assassin, you got the animal. So
Hmm.
it had to fit. And even though OV8 is something that the crowd could check, it needed to be an extension there. So with that being said, it just flowed. The strong style swordsman OV8. It was perfect, uh, either separated or together.
Absolutely. Now, what got you into this world of becoming a professional wrestler?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me just start by saying this. I think everybody around the world falls in love with professional wrestling at some point in their life.
Hmm.
Um, And you know what? To be honest, I'll say that it was never a dream of mine. And that's important because when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was, went back into the workforce, was working and everything like that. And life just felt like it was going through the motions.
Hmm.
So I got invited to a wrestling show. Happened to be a festival show. I looked at it. I knew my physical capability. I knew my mindset, but that's not the important part. I seen the love, the appreciation, and the respect that the fans and the workers have for professional wrestling. And that poured into me. So now, even though, being honest, it wasn't a dream for me at first, I now treat it with as a dream because again, those people pour so much into it, whether you're watching, whether you're in the ring
Hmm.
in some way, shape, or form, it just meant so much. And I was one of those who, if I hop in the ring, I could be inspirational to both myself and whoever is out there. Because little do you know, whenever you go to a show, that might be a fan's first wrestling show. You
Hmm.
might inspire somebody to do great things. And I didn't want to be a regular person going through the motions. I wanted to both be something great in my generation and inspire the next generation. So that's what brought me into the world of professional wrestling.
Now, who were some of your favorites to watch growing up?
Oh man, I gotta start, even though I respect wrestling through every age, I gotta start at the Attitude Era. I gotta start with
Hmm.
people like Edge. I know he goes by Copeland now, but man, charisma is a big thing for me. So Edge was definitely that guy for me. Other guys like RVD, who was a respected native in Michigan. A lot of my move set comes from that guy. There you go. RVD. One day we
Hmm.
go do OV8. So it's
Hmm.
like it flows like that.
Hmm.
Um, Guys like The Miz, he's great entertainment, long term in his career. He has charisma. On the match, he can make anybody look great. So I really go for that. So if I had to list a whole list, man, it would go charisma, and then that'll be at the top of the list. Because again, you got to see somebody that you could grow and attach to who can still inspire you to this day and age. And I could look at
Hmm.
any of those guys and be like, damn, no matter what day and age they did it, they still inspirational, and I can still use that to keep going.
Absolutely. Now, talking about charisma,
Hmm.
you gotta bring up, I'm into his nickname, the charismatic enigma himself,
Mm,
Jeffrey Nero Hardy.
mm. Man, that's charisma incarnate, man. Don't nobody do it better. And
Hmm.
again, it's like he's a hero to a lot of
Oh.
individuals. Like he took that chance to be that daredevil, and
Hmm.
he did it in a way where he could show you you could do it long term. Like the inspiration whenever the Hardy Boys come around is
Hmm.
through the roof. And to do that for so damn long, that's a career. And it lets you know that you can really do something in this lifetime that you love, man. Like all respect to them,
Hmm.
everything that they've done because they paved the way. Um, yeah, they paved the way. Daredevils through it all, man. And again,
Hmm.
you can look at anything they've done in their career and you could tell the boys have a passion and an absolute love for what they do. So all respect goes to the Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt.
Hmm. Who, at the time of recording, we are gonna be on NXT.
There you go. There you go. The boys never leaving the wrestling world, and that's for the better, man. They did too many great things to let it
Yeah.
go. But the takeover, that's something new, man. I'm looking forward to that because again,
Hmm.
that's big for both TNA and NXT. So I always like
Hmm.
to see crossovers like that, whether it's comic books or action movies. As long as somebody like got that real intensity, that rivalry, that's what it's
Hmm.
all about. Every person in the wrestling world needs a good rivalry to and amplify their career.
Absolutely. Now, how'd you find out about SCW?
You know what? I think it wasn't just knowing a lot of the talent on the Michigan circuit.
Hmm.
Uh, it was actually watching WinterMania. And that's very big because I got to be a participant in the last WinterMania, previous WinterMania's ladder match. So it was watching that. And in doing so, this world of professional wrestling, even though the stuff we do in the ring is great, it's still all about networking. And I got to network with the Cole brothers. I got to network with Glenn at the time. I got to network with a lot of the backstage talent, and me and them have worked together a few times in other promotions, so on and so forth. So SCW stood out in a way where it's like, not only can I take my skills to the next level and showcase them, I can elevate beyond Michigan and go international with opportunities we're working with SCWs, especially with the veterans they have backstage who have given the knowledge and giving you the tools in your arsenal to capitalize on any opportunity that comes about.
Hmm. Now, how long have you been wrestling for?
So not too long. It'll be 2 years going on June. I believe in the middle of June, that'll be my second official year wrestling.
2 years in, and you competed in the Wintermania ladder match.
Man, one of the best matches of my career. I can't tell you how much fun I've had in that match. I looked at it the other day and I'm just like, yeah, that's what we live for. That's what we do it for.
Hmm. I had Joseph Antonio Guerrero on, and I brought that up because he's been doing it a little less than you, and
Mhm.
he brought up a good point that many people don't get to participate in high risk matches such as ladder matches early on in their career.
This is absolutely true. I mean, you just don't see it. A lot of people, a lot of people don't do their research. A lot of people don't study. You just don't go into a ladder match because the psychology of a ladder match is very much real. If you
Mhm.
can't tell a story and a match like that, then I wouldn't recommend you step into something like that just to do it. And although that was the first time for a lot of us in that ladder match, we all studied, we all did our psychology,
Mhm.
we all flowed with each other. And for some of us, it was the first time working with each other. For others, it was the first time actually interacting and what we gave the fans. Because again, we can work in front of one fan, we can work in front of thousands, but what we gave them is what they gave us. So it
Hmm.
made everything come to life. And it was definitely a match that I would do again, but that one's special because it's my first match like that. And I didn't expect it to be that damn fun. It was just very brought to life, man. A lot of high risk, a lot of intense moments, but it worked out for the better. And I think a lot of people at SCW saying that has been the best ladder match so far. So I'll
Hmm.
take that being a part of that history. I'll take a little bit of that credit.
Hmm. And talking about high risk, we got to talk about Joseph Antonio Guerrero's moonsault off that
Ah,
ladder. I believe it was onto
man.
you and Rick Cartier.
You know what? Yes and no. Um, Me and Rick had to throw it out. We had to throw hands. We had some intense moments there. I
Hmm.
knocked him off the ladder with the Cerberus bomb. He broke my sword, which you got to be a strong individual to do that.
Hmm.
So after a while, I wasn't even focused on the SCW Internet title anymore. I wanted vengeance for my broken sword. So I was giving
Hmm.
Rick Cartier hands outside the ring. Now, little to my knowledge, did I know that Joseph Antonio Guerrero, and I'm gonna say his name because cool dude at the end of the day. I
Hmm.
didn't know that him and Dean Hendricks were having it out. As a matter of fact, as Joseph Antonio Guerrero is going for the title, Dean Hendricks tips the ladder over. Now, this is where high risk comes into play
Hmm.
because I've never known anybody to do a moonsault off a fallen ladder. Like you
Yeah,
gotta be totally extreme to do
crazy.
that. Like even I don't know, like
Oh
that's
yeah.
in Jeff Hardy territory.
Hmm.
But because the time it was the timing, um, me and Rick was so engaged in fighting back and forth that when he fell over from that moonsault, I took a lot of the blow. So Rick Cartier was in front of me. Luckily, I'm a decent sized dude
Hmm.
because that is a high risk move.
Oh, most
Um,
definitely.
but yeah, once he landed on me, I was all right. He was
Yeah.
all right, and you knew he was all right because it only took a few seconds later for him to pop up. Like
Yeah.
he just got his health restored, and he went right back in there for the final moment. And I was like, damn, you could do nothing but be proud of that guy because that takes a lot of grit and strength.
Hmm. Another spot I want to call attention to is LaDon Sanders.
Oh man, look, man, all I'm saying is that couldn't be me. That could
Hmm.
not be me. Everybody wants that extraordinary moment in a pro wrestling career. Don't get me wrong. That
Hmm.
guy, he has something in him that he's just made to do this. But that's a life flashing before your eyes type of moment. And
Oh,
it
hmm.
wasn't just everybody in the match that it caught their attention. The crowd was like really in shock. Like he
Hmm.
scared a lot of people with that.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I'm glad he's okay. He's still doing this thing.
Hmm.
But man, I love a 450 when it hits. So a
Hmm.
450 when it missed under those conditions was
Oh.
crazy.
Hmm.
It was crazy. And Dean Hendricks, that probably would have been the end of him, man. Because if he gotten hit with a 450 on the ladder, I don't think we would have seen him get back up.
Hmm.
I just don't see it. But luckily, his instinct kicked in. He was aware of where he was very last second. And he had to have a guardian angel pull him from that situation because LaDon was coming for blood, literally.
Hmm. Who would you say are some of your toughest opponents?
Toughest opponents. Toughest opponents. Mm, that is a great question because I'm always put against opponents of all sizes and variations. And
Hmm.
some are very memorable, but some you could tell just they made us something different, you know? Um, for instance, just this weekend, one of your favorite guys, me and Evan Encore, had a match.
Boo.
And man, hold on. Because I gotta give him credit. I really,
Oh,
really
you
do.
have. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, because me and him, we trained at the same place, the Missile Dropkick Academy.
Hmm.
So I was a little ahead and graduating while he was coming in. So seeing this kid train, knowing that he was advancing and he was very good, was like cool. I know he's gonna do great things. And this was our first time having a match. And he brought it last night. Like he flipped a switch that was just like, damn, this is a different version of him. But guys on the scene like him, guys on the scene like Antonio Joseph Guerrero, guys on the scene like Dustin Devine, um, Harrison H5. Like there are so many great talents coming out of this generation in Michigan alone. And don't get me wrong, I've been other places in other states, and there's just so many to name.
Yeah.
I say it like this: as long as you have that passion and it shows, you're going to be an opponent worth remembering. Because if
Hmm.
you think about it, all the great people that are in the bigger promotions now, they fought each other, they fought alongside each other, but they had longevity of building that brother or sisterhood through the indies, working their way up. I love
Hmm.
things like that. So it's too many to name because
Oh.
everybody has a great level of passion with this.
Hmm.
And I want to see them in the long term. And a lot of us you'll see start here and make it to the bigger platforms.
Hmm.
So again, I can have that conversation and be like, yeah, me and this guy had a hell of a match. Me and that guy had a hell of a match. Like these names are going to become extraordinary just off that alone.
Most definitely. And everyone that you end up or will end up facing always brings something new, something different.
Mm. This is true. And you know what? This is what I like about me personally. I can adjust.
Hmm.
I'm very strong in the ring, but I'm very agile if people pay attention. From
Yeah.
working with luchadors to working with bigger size guys, that's why no challenge could ever like intimidate me at all. I didn't. You learn with everybody you work with, every different style. That's why when I do go international, I'm going to do great things because you can be big, you can be fast. I'm going to be able to match that tempo. And for me as a worker, I want to bring the best out of you, and I know you're going to want to do the same for me. And I
Mhm.
focus on quality of a match. So I don't care if your style is luchador. I don't care if you're a big huss. I don't care if you're my size. We're going to put on a great match. And I can honestly say I have the ability to have a great match with anyone.
Hmm.
Looking back at it, I got to give myself credit for that. And now I'm still learning. You always learn something new with
Oh,
this.
absolutely.
But that's the best part of pro wrestling. You just don't get one style. Everybody is creative, whether they're
Hmm.
taking things from the old generation or creating something new. But as long as you can do that and it means something and it's attached to somebody of who you are, you're gonna go a long way.
Most definitely. Now, who is someone that you would want to face in the future?
Are we talking in the pro wrestling world in general, or are we talking?
Well, let's do it this way. Let's hear some if you have any independently, and then any like pro and like dream matches.
Okay, independently, I want to face Zilla. I want to face Zilla. I feel like he is about to cross that threshold, and I see a challenge there. I see a hell of a match there,
Hmm.
size wise, speed wise. Like I need that match, and it's like for me, it only is gonna make me better. For him, he got it in his blood. I'm looking to start a wrestling family one day. He's already a part of one, so I feel like to be in that match highlights a lot in the indies. Who else can I think of? Who else can I think of? Eli Eberfly. He's in California. He's from the Santino Brothers school. Now that guy is full of charisma. He can move. He's very agile. And he's very brought to life and charismatic. I like that. There are a couple of people in the UK that I can't like I don't have their name on the top of my head, but Pursuit Pro Wrestling, they have a lot of people over there that I want to face.
Yeah.
Uh, Great talent over there. I love their shorts. I love their videos. Those are a few names on the indies level
Mhm.
that I can think of right now.
Yeah.
Uh, as far as professional, oh man, where do I even start? I gotta face Sheamus, man. I was looking at his stuff last night, and I'm like, this dude is the definition of worker incarnate. Like he can work with anybody. Intense, very brought to life. And I don't know, like I got attached to his style. Uh, even though he works as heel, you can see him as anti-hero. And like I said, I could be that could be a great match that brings me in and do phenomenal things. Of course, Edge or Copeland, that's
Mm-hmm.
the dream match of mine because again, when I see that guy, I see charisma, I see the ultimate opportunist, best
Yeah.
of all time. Um, who else can I think of? Sheesh, that is a loaded question. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ah, you know what? I think the last match that comes to mind, that's a dream match of mine. Um, I gotta be Bobby Lashley. It has to be Bobby Lashley. Man, once I know I talk about great workers, but this guy is legendary.
Mm-hmm.
From what he does in the ring to the story that he could bring to life, innovated the spear for me, especially with the spin through, the
Mm-hmm.
master lock. Like this guy has it all, and I think that will make a great mentor. One day when I get to where I'm going. So Bobby Lashley is that dream match of mine as well. If he sees this, definitely know that I'm coming to learn everything I can from you and bring you to your limit. So don't retire no time soon because the strong style swordsman OV8 is looking to give you a hell of a match. So just know that I'm calling it now.
Mm-hmm. One half your current AEW tag team champions.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. And even if they go from the hurt business to the hurt syndicate, come on, man. It don't get no stronger than that.
Mm-mm.
Like these guys got it.
Yeah.
I don't even want to compare them to anybody, but they're their own league. But
Mm-hmm.
when you see factions like that, when you see factions like Evolution, you can look the part, you can dress the part. People know that you're about business. People know that you're a professional wrestler in and out of that ring. Like your aura is main character energy. And that's what a lot of the guys that I look up to have. They have main character energy.
Mm-hmm. Now, what does it mean to you to be able to work with vets in the business, such as the Great Tiger, whether it's facing them or teaming with them?
It means more than what people know. I think the mistake that a lot of young talent have coming into the business, and I'm young myself, but I'm very observant,
Mm-hmm.
is not taking the information and thinking they got it all figured out. Because again, you learn something new with this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Great Tiger has given me many tips in the ring, and you could tell he could see the potential in me, and I could go, and I will go further places. But to take the time to actually sit to the side and talk to somebody about the things you could tweak to make things better, it means a lot. Because again, like I said earlier, they have the tools in their arsenal that they pass down to the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're having those big opportunities, those big tryouts, those opportunities to go better places, you need to think back to that because it has to be instinct. And
Yeah.
those guys want the best for the guys they come across. Put it like this: if you're a young talent and you're looking at veterans, you got to understand that if one pours into you, you become a part of their legacy in a way
Mm-hmm.
because they're giving you knowledge that they don't have to give you. And knowledge is power. And
Mm-hmm.
that power has the ability to take you from just doing this um, on this level and take you to the whole next level. It's Duke. Look, to have information from years that we don't even look back at, wrestling in the 80s, the 90s, even at the international level, they understand. And
Mm-hmm.
psychology, ring awareness, they will get you right because again, we do the moves in the ring and that's cool, but we don't necessarily see ourselves from the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets to a point where it has to be a natural thing. And just the small tweaks of what they see, they'll tell you how to tell that story better. They'll show you what to add that makes sense and what not to add. Now, again, you take the good with the bad and you make the best of it. I'm not saying you got to listen to what every veteran says. That's your call. But
Mm-hmm.
don't ignore the good knowledge that's in there because again, it will take you to the next level. And everybody got a story to tell. So we will be those veterans one day. So why would you want to go through a career and not pass off something you learned from somebody who's passing something off to you? It's the gift that keeps on giving. So that's
Absolutely.
my thoughts on that.
Especially in this business, you want to have open eyes and ears, accept any feedback you're given.
This is true. This is true. So very true. And like I said, it's about networking as well. You're not
Hmm.
just talking to a veteran that's been doing this for a while. You're talking to someone who can make someone else aware of your potential. You know, they're not just going to recommend anybody to represent Michigan or represent a promotion that they're from. You know,
Hmm.
they want to know that you're going to be open to listening, open to changing it up. Because again, this could make a big difference in anybody's life. You could
Hmm.
go from a regular whatever you do for a living to being on a big stages across the world. So, like I said, they give a lot and they don't even know sometimes, you know? So, yeah, respect to all the veterans throughout Michigan, all the veterans, uh, on the indies and everywhere in general. Like I said, not all of us take that information for granted. Not all of us ignore it. Not all of us pretend like we got it all figured out. It's levels to this.
Most definitely. Now looking back, or going back to talking about SCW and
Mhm.
WinterMania Aftermath. We're
Mm,
getting the man sitting from me right now, a strong style swordsman, OV8, versus the BIG of 313,
mm.
Joseph Ira Credit.
Joseph Ira credit. You know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to have respect for someone who loves his business just as much as I do.
Hmm.
But you got to learn to not touch something that isn't yours. And come March 15th, I'm going to have to show him. Like, I'm not the bad guy, but when you force my hand, I do have to hurt you. You
Hmm.
just don't do that. You don't touch another man's sword. That's his pride. That's his weapon of choice. You just don't do that. And, I'm very observant, like I said before, looking at this previous confidential, Jonte Key, respect to him still, but you got a habit of getting knocked out. And I wasn't even on the scene. So I definitely am going to need an apology or a sign of respect after that. But again, with Joseph, you just didn't want to do that, man. Like I wanted to keep it mutual. I wanted to keep it clean, but that was just a sign of disrespect. And when I come respectful to anybody, that should be an automatic reciprocation. Especially when you tell me that I went against my word. I don't like that. I understand there's a lot of confusion at SCW. It's a lot of things happening that we probably aren't even aware of. However, I'm one of those people that, again, will treat you with the utmost respect. But the minute you cross that line, I got to revert to a version of me that nobody gets to see twice.
Hmm. I was just talking to someone about this yesterday about how it's always getting crazy over there at SCW and with SCW Confidential.
Mm. This is true. And you know what? I think this has only been my second confidential. They're great. Like it's a great segment to have
Hmm.
for any promotion that tells the stories that are extended outside of the ring.
Hmm.
Um, but hey, look, check this out. We are just entertainers. And what I mean by that is when you look back at it, you are watching a TV show. Because again, you are a character in that story of confidential. Your own character,
Hmm.
of course, but you don't see the different angles that somebody else can see from a point of view. So when you're across the path of so many people, it's just like, dang, I don't even know what I'm gonna get into today. I just know that I gotta be who I am, you know?
Hmm.
So that's what I love about it. Uh it's definitely gonna be what makes the difference in a lot of people's career, being able to feed into that, being able to work off that. The character work is there for anybody who needs it. But damn, I'll be damned if I say it wasn't a lot of crazy things that went on there. Cause I'm
Hmm.
still out of the loop of so much. And I'm just like, I'm a swordsman looking from the outside looking in. Of
Mm,
course, I'm ready to cut some things down because I'm cut like that. But you can't just go in swords blazing. You know, you got to really get a gist of everything, and that's the mystery behind it. So yeah.
now, during your match with Joseph Ira Credit,
Mm.
do you worry or do you think Jonte Keith will get involved in any way, shape, or form?
You know what? I'm a man of research. I do my research.
Hmm.
What I come to understand through SCW history is when Jonte Keith needs help, Joseph comes out and he shows up and he supports. However, I've never seen it the other way around. I've never seen Jonte Keith show up for Joseph. So it's almost like that's a one-sided dynamic. I could
Hmm.
look back, I could be wrong, but from what I've seen in a couple years span, he's there every time. Nobody hurts my brother, but I've never seen a reciprocation. And I'm not one to tear a family apart. However, you got to look at facts to be facts because once that match is conducted and once we're done with that, Jonte will have nobody to protect him. He just won't. So, me personally, because I'm an intense guy, I'd
Hmm.
rather him show up in that match. I really do. I welcome it. I would have took a handicap match with both of them against me because I'm just cut like that. But I predict that he won't show up. He just
Hmm.
won't. I haven't seen it before. I don't expect it to happen now. And Joseph, just open your eyes a little bit. Like I said, I'm not the bad guy, but you forced my hand. And I'm gonna open your eyes up to some things. Because again, I got respect for you at the end of the day. You crossed that line and I can't let that slide. I just can't.
Hmm. So, Jonte, if you're watching this, Mr. OV8 dares you to come out.
Hey, I got two swords, one for
Mhm.
you and one for your brother. Like I said, I've never seen Jonte come out on Joseph's behalf ever.
That's a
Could be wrong.
that's a fair point. I haven't
Never
either.
seen it. Never seen it. So who knows?
Maybe
Who
a first
knows?
time.
Who knows? If not, I'm gonna pick them apart because little do you know, when I get strategic, it's to break someone.
Hmm.
It really is to break someone. And I will really hate to do that. But if you leave me no choice, I will pick you apart. And I'll enjoy it with my feet kicked up, swords behind my back, and hands raised behind my head. Like it's easy for me.
Well, that's all I had for you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time and conversation. Keep fighting a good fight. We appreciate everything you do for the Indies because you bring us all to life, man. So continue to stay strong. You have a warrior's will, and know that me personally, I'm proud of you and everything that you do.
Thank you. Your
All right.
background's falling apart.
Background said it's time to go to.
All right, you have a good one.
All right. Ain't no